great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of disease. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Today is the last day of July, Thursday, July 31st. This is episode number 881 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'll be here for the next hour and a half, and then I'm clocking out till Monday or Tuesday. I am up in Michigan. I am up on the third floor. There's a nice little breeze. Going to go out to the lake after this and jump into Lake Michigan. Try to cool off a little bit. How's everybody doing? How's your day? What's going on? We are live on TikTok. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. Again, my name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States. Our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. I'm going to say hi to all of our friends on YouTube. Hold on. Hoolie's trying to tell me something. Yes, Hoolie.
Chicago.
Oh, I forgot Chicago, yes. And Skylar's here too. I forgot the Chicago office. St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago. Thank you, ladies. I'll be going to Chicago a couple weeks. I'll be up in Chicago for working in the office. Gingview Tech is here. I got Paige is here. Yvette says hello. Jamaica, big ups. Tamara is here. Maureen says, thank you for this Q&A show. We learn a lot. You're doing a great service to people all over the world. Especially thanks for showing the right and honest path. What are you doing here?
I have to close everything.
No, don't.
They turn on the AC. I have to.
Oh, it's going to be hot, dude.
Don't cry, old man.
All right, Nora's here. I guess they're turning on the air conditioning. I got Queen. Queen is here. Sonia is here. Robert's in Vancouver, Washington. I bet it's nice and cool in Vancouver, Washington. I got good day. Cheers from rainy Boston. Nora and I will be in Boston in a couple of weeks, maybe with Amani for a camp. Olakan is here. Andrea H&M is here. What else? Trudy says hello. Robert is invoking Goodfellas in the scene. Jimmy. Jean Villejas is here from San Diego. I wish I was in San Diego. We got San Juan Capistrano. AJ, I've been to San Juan Capistrano. It's a very lovely place. We saw Dave Matthews in Irvine, and we stayed in San Juan Capistrano. It was nice. Paige says, I just love listening to Jim. I listen to some of the callers to know what not to do. I tell everyone to come on the show. Number one. All right. We like it. These shows and videos are my Super Bowl. Jim is all right. He's a good fella. All right. Ben Yapa says, good afternoon. We got London. Julian's in London, as Julian often is. We got a stormy day in Louisville. Today's payday. Yes, I guess it is payday. Last day of the month. We got Aloha from San Francisco. Natalie is here. Jimmy is here. We have Jose from Ecuador in the house. How about that? Tampa. We got Michael's here. Raphael, good to see you, buddy. All right. Hit the Bid says, hey, Jim. We got hello from the East Coast. We got a salams from AC. Michelle is here. Lola is back. Hello, Lola. Haven't seen you in a while. Raphael says, here for the information, and the drama's not bad. Well, we've certainly had our fill of drama this week, haven't we, my friends? All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go to Had Interview today. Hello.
Good afternoon, Anthony. Jim, thank you for taking me.
Of course.
I had my interview earlier yesterday, but there's something I learned from you, which I believe may save me. It's a green card interview. Before I submitted my I-485 I-130 in January 2025, I had asylum application on file 4 years ago. But based on the question the officer is asking me, he's looking for the way for me to lie. But I have learned something from your show that it's better to say the truth than to lie. The officer asked me that do I have some evidence. I keep on mentioning. Later on, he asked me, have I been refused visa application before? I said I've refused twice. Then along the line, towards the end, he asked me, have I ever committed any crime? I said, could you please explain? He explained. He said, have I been issued a ticket? I said, yes. He said, but I did not put it in my application. I said, I don't know. Then my lawyer told me that mistake is from her. He said, how many times have I been given a ticket? I said, what kind of ticket? Is there any ticket? I said, okay, traffic ticket like speeding. I said, yes, 3 times. Now, it changes on the system. It changes on the answer on my application on the system. It's how it's signed. Then later on, which I know this is where he's looking for. He said, if I use any fraudulent document, I said yes with explanation. He said, can I explain? I said, when I came to this country, due to threat to my life back home in Africa, I submitted my application, but I sent money back to somebody back home in Nigeria to help me get my divorce document. The person get me, I don't know, depending what he got for me is a fake, which I submitted with my asylum application. Then he said, yes, I've used my. Then my lawyer standard that one does not have anything to do with this application. That in this application, she has already addressed it. That she told me before I submitted this application in January, that I should hire another lawyer. I said Anthony Jim also told me, which you told me in the past. I hired another lawyer back home in Nigeria to go and collect the re-divorce decree, which I used for my new application, which was submitted in January. The officer now said, yes, I've used fake. I said, yes, but that time I don't know it's fake. But this recurring application, I use authentic application. He now claimed that in this divorce decree, he observed that they did not listed the name of my children on the divorce decree. I said, that's the document obtained by the lawyer I hired in Nigeria, and I know it's authentic. He said, how can I defend it? I said, there's a way I can defend it. I have a document here, which is a full judgment based on the decree. He said, did I have it? I said, I have it. I now gave him a copy. He said, no, he want the original copy. I mean, the judgment, the comprehensive judgment. He want the original copy. I gave it to him. He said, what of the divorce decree he has with him, the copy? He said, he want the original with me too, that I should give him the original. Then my Anthony standard that this original and the copy which we have submitted is the same thing. He said, no, you want the original with me, that when he finished with his investigation, he will return it back to me. Then after then asked me that, do I have any question? I said, I have no question. He said, that's all.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you told the truth, but I'm worried about the document. So
yeah.
Are you saying that you had a different document than the divorce decree you provided at the time that you got your green card, or are you saying something else?
No, not at the green card. At the time I submitted my asylum application, I started the process of divorce in Nigeria, but when they finalized the case, I was still in USA. I was not in Nigeria. I now sent a layman to go and collect the divorce decree from, but the layman sent fake one to me, which I submitted with my asylum application in 2018. But when I want to file for my green card January this year, my Anthony, based on what you have, I keep on watching your show, that you told me 2 years ago that go and hire a lawyer to go and collect the the lawyer collected a divorce original authentic one for me, which I used in my new application, which my lawyer also advised me to do.
Okay, and whatever happened to your asylum case?
It's still pending.
Okay. So then at your green card interview, the question is asked, have you ever given any documents to the U.S. government that were false, fraudulent, or misleading? And you said, listen, I sent what I thought was a real divorce decree for my asylum case, but after that, I checked to make sure in getting ready to file for this green card case, and then I found out that the divorce decree I gave you previously wasn't real, and so I gave you the real one in my green card, a copy of my real one in the green card application, and the officer said, okay, we're going to look at all this, and I need that original from you of the new divorce decree, or the new copy of the divorce decree that you got from Nigeria.
Through a lawyer, yeah. Yes.
Okay. And that divorce decree that you got in Nigeria, the second one, you got married to your spouse after that, right?
Yes, after that. The divorce decree was finalized in April 2018, but I got married to my new spouse in November 2019.
Okay. I feel good. What did your attorney say? Were they happy with it?
My attorney was happy with it, but he told me after the interview when we were outside of the building, he said the worst part is that they will request that I should file a waiver.
Yeah. That's a possibility for sure.
Yeah. But when I checked the status this morning, it showed actively review.
Yeah,
That's the status.
We don't believe anything they say about that. All right, well, let us know how it goes, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Anthony Jim.
See you, brother.
God bless. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. All right. He was here yesterday. That's why I said he had an interview today. He was trying to get on yesterday. So, yes, Julian, there's a real problem with Nigerian divorce decrees. It's been going on for about at least 5 years that I know of. It's been on USCIS's radar. And the problem is sometimes people got that divorce decree, and that's how they got their original green card. Now they're divorced from that person, and that old marriage wasn't valid. So it becomes a big old mess. Joe, hello.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, buddy. How are you doing? You're cheering me up.
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for all you do here.
My pleasure.
Yeah. I know this is the third time I'm talking to you.
Okay.
I'd just like to let me just give you a background so you can be on the same page with me. I filed an EB1A. I'm on F2. I filed an EB1A. That was last year, December. Apparently, I had an issue with a dealership that I bought a vehicle from who refused to give me my title. I went there to claim my title and they got me arrested. And they got me charged.
We talked about that. I remember.
So the prosecutor had been, sort of like playing games up and down over the issues. And so far, 2 recommendations have been made. And my EB1A petition, I've been asked to go for biometrics, I believe, to do background checking. But this case is still on, and the 2 recommendations on are kind of concerning to me. So I felt like talking to you to know what you advise. First recommendation given, which we rejected, was to convert peace disturbance to MPV, municipal park violation, and to issue an SIS, suspended imposition of justice of judgment on assault, which I feel SIS will be seen as conviction. So we rejected that. Now the latest thing is actually the guy suggesting that he's going to dismiss the assault. He had given a recommendation to my attorney to dismiss assault, but wants me to plead guilty to peace disturbance at a fine. Now, this is where my concern is. Looking at the current climate in the country, what do you advise? My attorney says if I'm declining this, the next option may be to head for trial, which he told me he cannot 100% guarantee.
Peace disturbance sounds pretty good to me, brother. What's the maximum sentence you could get for peace disturbance?
Yeah, I think it should be 6 months, but in this case, they're asking me to just pay $500 as fine.
I mean, that if you're talking about moving an assault to a peace disturbance, to a misdemeanor peace disturbance, that sounds pretty good to me.
Okay, so
I mean, but you have a lawyer, right?
Sure, I do.
Why don't you listen to your lawyer? Why are you asking me? They have all the documents. I'm just somebody you're talking to on the screen.
Yeah, I do. My concern really is its bearing on immigration.
Well, remember we talked, I think your F2 to an L1A is goofy anyway. So, I mean, I just think that's a problem in and of itself. Like, Jim, in the history of USCIS in the last 10 years, how many people have gone from an F2 to an EB1A, right? That's what you're talking about?
Not quite, because I have quite a number of persons I know who have done this, moving from F2 to EB1A.
You know quite a number of people.
Yes, I know quite a number of people actually from a group I belong to. But my concern is the inadmissibility of.
Well, that's something your attorney has to research. I can't do that on a call like this. I can't tell you that you're going to be admissible pleading to this or not pleading to that. That's what you're paying your lawyer to do. I can't do all that right here.
Yeah, I totally understand. Well, I was going to like seek your perspective from your experience and
My
maybe what you.
perspective is I don't think you're going to get a green card based on EB1A from an F2 category. That's what I think. And
All right.
I don't think the criminal charge is going to have anything to do with it.
All right. Thank you very much for this. I
Good luck,
appreciate it.
Joe. See ya. Hey, Jim, can you build me a submarine while we're on camera? I mean, telling people the immigration consequences of a guilty plea is the most complex thing that we do. And I don't even do it for pay anymore, right? Like when I was a new lawyer, people would ask me, Jim, I need an opinion. If I plead guilty to this, will it keep me from being admissible to the United States? Will it keep me from getting a green card? And I would do that research, but nobody can guarantee it. And I'm sure as hell not going to do it on a call for someone. I mean, I don't do it for money anymore, so I'm sure not going to do it for free. I'll be like, oh yeah, go ahead, dude. You're going to be fine. Plead guilty. Then he gets in deportation. Then he says, then they say, who told you to do this? And he says, oh, Jim on YouTube. So don't trust your future to some guy on the internet, no matter how smart you think he is or good looking. Mendez is here. Hello.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great.
I'm applying to my green card through my marriage to my wife, which is now a citizen. And I've been out of status for 5 years now. I came here as a F1 student. So I studied for about 2 years, dropped out of school, and been out of status ever since. So
Okay.
I've been with my wife for 11 years since we came from Brazil. I moved here in 2017. She moved 1 year after she's finished studying. Then we've been living together ever since, so 2018. She got her citizenship through her father, so she applied to a green card when she got here, waited for 5 years, and then applied for her citizenship about a year ago. Now I want to apply for mine, for my green card, but I have some doubts about how strong my case is and how can I get it stronger to make sure I did everything I can do to get
Okay.
success.
So as we sit here right now, is she a U.S. citizen today?
Yes, for a year.
So that's all done. Okay.
Yeah,
And you said you guys have been together for 11 years?
for 11 years. Yeah, married on courthouse for 3 years, but living together in the U.S. for 7 years, and
Okay.
together
So
for 11.
why in the world would a couple that's been together for 10 years
Yeah.
not have enough marriage evidence?
Yeah, so no, I mean, yeah. So I've been looking online and there's a few things that you guys usually ask us to have it and we don't have it.
Okay, like
For
what?
example, joint bank account. We've never had one because we never seen the point, we always use our own bank accounts for everything. For example, I pay for some bills, she pay for another bill. The rent
Well,
I
so
uh-huh.
so I you said you don't see the point. How
Yeah,
about how about because it's going to help me get my green card?
yeah, but that's
Is
the
that-
problem. When I started searching for it, it was too late. I will have to open one
No,
now.
it's never too late. Open one now. Have your money
Okay,
both start going into that account and start paying your bills out of that account.
okay, okay.
What
That
else?
that's done. I'll do it.
What else worries you? It sounds like you're worried about a lot of this stuff. You just need to. I mean, if she became a citizen a year ago, dude, you should have
That does.
filed. You should have filed the day after Donald Trump got elected,
No,
bro.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But we had financial problems, so I can like make the money to like pay for the fees and
But
everything. That's literally why.
you understand that you could get deported or put into deportation proceedings tomorrow, right?
I Yeah.
So I don't know what you're waiting for.
No, yeah, that's why I hopped on a call with you because I'm gonna do this. Like I'm probably gonna do this like this week and
Hurry up.
apply for it because now I
Yep.
have the money. If I finally got the money, so but I'm worried about the interview. So I'm worried
What,
about
okay. What are you worried about
um
the interview?
okay, so I have it right down here. What so first I worked without authorization, right? I didn't have
Yep.
authorization to work here, but I worked. What can I respond to them when they ask this on interview? This is one of my
Yes.
questions.
Yes, I worked without authorization.
That's it?
Yeah. And
Okay.
you tell them everywhere. You tell them everywhere you worked.
Yeah. Yeah, they asked this on the form, so I just put down everything on the form where I worked because it was just not formal jobs, like doing construction help for a week and landscape for another week. So
The one thing I want to make sure of for people that have been here for 10 years is, did you ever say on a job application that you were a U.S. citizen, or were these all
I've
just like,
I've never did a job application. It was just everything informal, like
yeah.
somebody
So
called
just,
me, I need your help tomorrow. That's it.
yeah. So just do your best at listing all the jobs that you think you had.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So got two out of the way. The second one, oh, okay. Well, so I never had a social security number or IT number, so I never filed taxes. Do you think there's anything I can do about this now before I
How did
apply
you,
for it?
how did you open a bank account if you didn't have a social security or ITIN number?
When I got to the US, somebody took me to a bank and they just opened one for me, a Bank of America without a social security number.
Okay. Well,
I've never had one.
I would ask the bank for the records of how they opened your bank account, because that worries me.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm gonna do that. I think it's like 000. They put something like this on my account, or they
but
did
you need
it
to,
to everybody else. Yeah.
so you need to talk to an accountant about taxes. I mean, they're not going to be that concerned about your taxes. They're going to be more concerned about your spouse's taxes.
Yeah, everything about her taxes are perfect. She paid every single tax. We
Yeah.
have all of the returns. We have everything that
But, but you've been
they
married
asked
for three
for.
years. You've been married for 3 years. Did she list you as a dependent?
No, I don't think so.
Did she say she was single?
I'm gonna have to check on this. Let me
Yeah,
write
you
down
probably need to take her taxes with you and go see a CPA and say,
CPA.
we need to file amended taxes. I'm worried that that friend of yours said to Bank of America that you were a citizen.
Oh, okay, I see, I see. Yeah, I'll check on that. But
That's a
my
deportable.
account is like a different type of account that I've never had like any, social security, credit cards, anything like that, It's just straight up checkings account. So
Okay, we'll just make sure to check it.
okay, yeah, no problem. I'll do it. Um, and the last one month ago, I got pulled over for driving without a driver's license because I live in Florida and you cannot get a driver's license here without a social security number. And so my case is going to court, I think like 2 weeks. I have a lawyer for that. And do you think the second degree misdemeanor can interfere with my case?
That's the wrong, that's the wrong question. The question is, Jim, do you think ICE is going to be there because Florida is loving to feed immigrants to
Yeah,
ICE? That's the
yeah,
actual
yeah,
question. I don't know
yeah.
why you're being so casual. I don't know why you're being so casual about any of this.
I'm not. I
Yes, you
wish
are.
I.
You've been married to a U.S. citizen for a year. You've been together for
Yeah,
10.
when I talked to the lawyer like 6 years ago, she said I will have to go to Brazil to ask for pardon and in order to come back here. And I didn't want to go back to Brazil back then
But
because some law
that's
had
because
changed.
that's because your spouse wasn't a U.S. citizen then.
Yeah, she was a green card holder, exactly. And I didn't want to go back to Brazil, so we thought like, let's just wait. I don't want to go back there. And
Yes,
then we
but your
waited
wife
until
became a citizen a year ago. Donald Trump came
yeah,
into
the
office.
money, the money, it was
Do you
very
want to
hard.
stay here? How much money are you going to make in Brazil?
I
How much
know.
money? How much money is it going to cost you to try to stop getting deported?
Yeah, I know, I know.
Way too casual. Way too
It was,
casual.
yeah, it
And I'm
was,
serious. ICE might very well be there 2 weeks from now when you go to court. Even if you get your I-130 and 45 on file tomorrow, you probably won't have your receipts when you go to court, and they might just take you into custody.
yeah, I know.
Way too casual, bro.
I'm
Good
trying to
luck.
do the best I can now, but I
Hurry up.
agree. Yeah, I will apply today, man. I'll
Yeah,
apply today. I thank you. I think that's all. That's all I needed from you. Thank you for having us
you're
and
welcome.
helping the
You're welcome.
community. Thank you.
Of course. What the heck? I don't want anything bad to happen to Mendez. I mean, Florida. Like, can you think of a worse state to be in? Maybe Texas, but Florida, I mean, they're just jumping up and down to try to help ICE. Ham interviewed today. Hello, Ham.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
Good. So today I had my marriage-based card interview, green card interview with my husband. He's the
How was it?
beneficiary. I'm the petitioner. I'm not sure. I'm so-so. I'm not sure how it went. So they called us in. They called him in to go first, and left me out. And they interviewed him for about an hour. He has a pending asylum case, so they mainly asked him questions about that, less about our marriage. They asked him, I guess there was a main description about when he entered, what he told the officer, like his intention of staying.
Mhm.
He came on a visitor's visa.
When?
When?
Like roughly.
That was in February of 2023.
And what was the purpose of his visit?
Just to clear his mind, just to visit. No real solid intentions of applying. He applied for the asylum in July of
What country is he
2022. Uganda?
And before he entered the United States, did he know you?
We were friends, but he didn't know me personally like that.
Like you weren't dating or anything?
No, we weren't dating.
And how long after he entered did you two see each other face to face?
About 4 months after that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I got a guy who enters the United States in, you say 23 or 24?
23.
23, files for asylum, no asylum interview yet, right?
Yes.
Did he prepare the whole forms himself, or did somebody help him fill out his asylum application?
Somebody helped him fill it out.
A lawyer?
No, he has a consulting firm, but he's not an actual lawyer.
So a fake lawyer?
Yes.
Is there anything in your husband's asylum application that is untrue, an exaggeration, making it sound worse than it really is?
No, all of it is true.
Okay, good. Did they ask you about your husband's asylum case?
They did not. All they asked me, so here's another thing. I was previously married, and I did petition for somebody, and they did get their green card. So they asked me.
You have a prior spouse running around the United States who's probably a U.S. citizen.
They're just a green card holder right now, not a citizen yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did you divorce that person?
I divorced them. It was finalized last year, August 2024.
Okay, and you were born in the United States?
Yes, I was.
Is the prior person that you sponsored also from Uganda or from somewhere else?
No, they're from Kenya.
Okay. Okay, so in other words, your divorce was pending from spouse number one while you still, and you were already seeing this new person?
Yeah, I started getting involved with him in January of 2024.
Okay.
So I separated from my spouse in 2023.
Okay. Did they also, at your interview, I know you said they mostly focused, at least with your husband, on his asylum case. Did they also do like the gotcha questions, like have you draw a picture of the bedroom or things like that?
They did not. Actually, the only thing that he did do, he asked me how long we had been living in our current house. He said in their system, it said since December of 2024. And I was like, no, it was August of 2024. That's when we moved in. And I asked him if I could look through and follow along with the I-130 to see what he's talking about. And then he was like, oh yeah, you're right. My system is just slow. You're right. It is August. So that's the only place that he kind of tried.
Yeah. And so they talked to your husband first for an hour, and then did they talk to you with your husband there, or did they kick him out and talk to you?
Yeah, they talked to us together for about 10 minutes.
Okay. And did they ask your husband all the, have you ever been a drug dealer, prostitute,
Yes,
terrorist? They asked him all the admissibility questions?
they did. Yes.
Okay. So what can I help you with, or what are you worried about?
So on one of those admissibility questions, it had asked the one about, have you ever been arrested in the US or worldwide?
Yeah.
On there, he marked no. But in his asylum case, he did state that him and a group of people were held by police, but they were not officially arrested. So that's why he did not mark it as yes.
Okay.
So the officer told him, well, let's still go ahead and mark that as yes, since you were technically detained.
That's fine.
Is that an issue?
No, that's not a big deal.
Okay. Okay.
Did the officer say anything about your prior application for your prior spouse?
No, he just asked if they got a green card, and that was it. He didn't really dig much into that. He asked me how my current spouse proposed. I gave him the story. He asked my spouse mainly about how we met. And that was pretty much it. Not so many questions to me.
Did the officer already know that your prior marriage involved a green card for somebody else, or did you bring that up?
He brought it up.
How? What did he say?
Well, not really. He, with the question, have you ever petitioned for someone else? And I said yes.
And then what did he say?
And then he was like, for who? And I said, my ex-spouse.
Which, of course, you listed the ex-spouse on your application.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So he didn't seem too bothered by that?
No, he didn't seem too bothered. Didn't dig much into it.
Do you ever hear much from that person?
I don't.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that, and I think you might have told me this already, but I've had a few calls about asylum already. He never had an asylum interview, right? Your husband?
No, not yet.
Okay. Did the officer say anything about withdrawing the asylum application?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, good. Don't do that. Okay. Just keep it on file.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not too worried about this one.
Okay.
Did you have a lot of good marriage evidence?
Yeah, we did. Actually, you know what? I had our tax return. He said that he didn't want to take it because I guess people can, I don't know, edit it. And I should have brought a tax transcript, which I wasn't sure of. Have you heard of that before?
Yeah, you get that straight. You download that straight from the IRS record website.
Okay.
They'll probably ask you for that, or they probably don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I had a bunch of stuff. I had our insurance, dental insurance, car insurance. I had already uploaded. I had additional pictures. I had an album. He didn't take that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the other day I was in an interview the other day, and it was the first time ever where the officer actually scanned in photos, that weren't on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. That was the first time that ever happened. What did the officer say at the end?
He said he's just going to review everything, and he won't make a decision now, but we'll hear something soon to see if our case will move forward.
How long were you married to the first person?
I was married with them about 3.5 years.
I think the officer is just going to sit on your case for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be in a hurry to approve it. They're going to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
With your marriage.
With the marriage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the length, like see if we make it a year or something, or.
Yeah, I think that when a prior marriage that the person applying now, if either of them have a prior marriage that didn't last particularly long and involved an immigration benefit, then I think sometimes, and I think just generally, if they're a little confused or wondering about a case, they'll just sit on it in order to see if the marriage falls apart.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess that's better than hearing a no.
Yeah, no, I'm not too worried about it. It seems good so far. Yeah, keep us posted, okay? Let us. Yeah, go ahead.
Then even with my husband telling the officer, like at the port of entry, he said that he intended to stay for a week, but he told the officer at the port of entry that he would stay for a week, but in the interview he had said 2 months, and the officer caught him and he was like, "Are you sure? At the port of entry you told them a week." Is that a big deal?
Did he have a round trip ticket?
Yes, he did.
Did the officer ask for that?
No, he didn't.
I think this case might have a second interview.
Yeah.
I think they might dig around a little bit more. Yeah. Sometimes officers get assigned 6 or 8 interviews in a day. And if they get a case that they want to dig in on, they won't necessarily do it on the day of the actual interview because they want to keep to their schedule. And like if you say to yourself, okay, I have to review and decide 8 cases today, and my second one has this big issue in it that I want to dig into, I'm just going to give them sort of a general interview and then call them back for a 2 or 3 hour interview later. That's what just happened to me on Monday, where I went back for a second interview. Thanks for the call, Ham. Something happened to your audio. All right. Thank you, Jim. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for everything.
Sure.
I have a quick question. I'm on a pending marriage based green card adjustment.
Okay.
And one of the questions I have is I added the I-130 case on the beneficiary account on the online portal. Is that like a big issue or what?
Doesn't mean anything.
I just want to upload like documents. I can still do that, right? Online with that account?
Well, you still might get a request for evidence. I mean, I don't know what happens when you do that because we haven't done that. So I'm not sure exactly what would happen. I think it should be okay to keep uploading the stuff. But if they want to ask you for more stuff, they'll ask you for it.
I already got like an interview notice. So
Yeah,
I
so
haven't got like a reference.
Yeah,
So
I would upload it.
Okay.
Yep.
And the other one is the I-864, the financial thing. My wife was a student like in 2022. She started working in 2022, and we applied in January this year. So she had like 1 year tax return before we apply.
Yeah.
And now we have like a joint tax return together. I don't know how to deal with that. Like they need like a 3 years, right?
Well, if you already have your interview coming up, that means they've already processed the affidavit of support stuff. I would say affidavit of support stuff comes up at an interview only 1% of the time. So you might want to prepare joint sponsor stuff to bring to your interview, but it's really very rare that that comes up because you don't get your interview usually until they're satisfied with your financial stuff.
Okay. How do I prepare? Like, what are the things I need, like, for a co-sponsor?
You have to do an I-864. You have to get their tax transcripts, their tax returns, their proof of income, and their proof of current employment.
Current employment. Okay. When we say tax transcript,
just like the one you did for your wife.
For the first one, okay. When we say tax return transcript, it's the return transcripts, right? There are like a bunch of it online.
You download the tax transcripts from the IRS website. That's right.
The return one, right? I think I saw like 3 type of transcript on the online.
Yeah, you want the written ones. Yeah.
The return one. Okay.
There's an option like for instant download. That's the one that you want.
Instant download. Okay. I'll do that. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. We're at about the halfway mark. We're 45 minutes in. We got 380 people watching on YouTube and 203 people watching on TikTok. I remember when we used to have 20 people watching, and I thought it was fun. We got some OGs from back in those days, like my good friend Dammy. Hello, Dammy. How are you? H&M as well. We got some real OGs here. I'm going to go to Ben, then to Ronnie, then Valdo. I'm really mad. The boys are watching Jeopardy downstairs. I think they've watched like 4 episodes without me. Ben, hello.
Hey Jim, how are you doing?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing good. I had a quick question for you here. It's regarding employment visa. I am on a H-1B visa here in the United States, and I've been working for.
Time out. You said H-1B visit visa. Those are 2 different things.
I'm on an employment visa here.
So you're on an H-1B?
That is correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just got laid off at my work on 17th of July.
Yep.
I know, yeah, it's really hard. So right now, I know there is a 60-day window where you either have to find a new employer to keep your status on, or you'll have to leave the country. But on the contrary, I have my family, which is my spouse and my 2 little children also living here. So I just don't want to, get separated from my family here, Jim.
Well, what's their status? Are they on H-4s or what?
My wife, she has an employer and she is on a L-1B visa.
Okay.
So she has a different employer visa. So I am on a different employment visa. So we don't. I'm not her dependent that way.
Right.
So I just wanted to understand if there is a scenario or a way where I can, become her dependent and continue staying with my family here for a while until I find my next employer.
Sure. So do you know how a lot of people, when their back's up against it, they have an H-1B and they sort of run out of options. They can't find a new job, and then they file a B1, B2 change of status, I-539. You know how people do that?
I'm not really sure, Jim. So
Okay.
I just wanted some professional advice from you
Okay.
here.
Sure. So you're actually in a much better spot than a lot of people. So a lot of these brothers on H-1Bs who get laid off, they really hope they can find a job. They spend the next 2 months applying all over the place, and they sort of run out of time, and they call me up and they say, Jim, I got a week left. And then they decide to apply for a B1, B2 to see if that can carry them over to a future change of status based on, the finding a new job, right?
Yeah.
But you have something better. So are your kids dependent on yours or your wife's?
They're on my spouse visa.
Perfect. So you're just going to do that. You're going to get an L2. Now you won't be able to, I don't think you'll be able to work. Can you work on an L2? I don't know. Let me see. But you can change your status to an L2 visa. And that would allow you to stay here and keep looking for a job. You can get work authorization.
Got it. So on the, I have a second scenario as well. She also got picked on her H1 this year, and she got her 797 approved. And I believe that this only is from beginning October, right? That is what it is, Jim.
Correct.
So I will have to switch my status if I don't find an employer by October to a H4. Is that how I have to go about?
Well, so you got laid off, you said July 17th, right?
That is correct, yeah.
So then your 60-day grace period goes to September 17th, right?
That is correct, yeah.
And so then does she and her employer want her to switch from the L1 to an H-1B? That's what they're planning on doing?
She already has her H-1B picked up this year, and she's got her 797 approved as well. But officially,
does she have the I-94?
Yes, she does.
Okay, and that kicks in on October 1st.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in a little bit of a trick bag because you're missing about 2 weeks of time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if you file for change of stat, like, okay, so in theory, you could file for change of status now from H-1B to H-4 because she hasn't approved H-1B. You could stay here while it's pending, and then hopefully it gets approved, and then you get work authorization. So that sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay. Are you talking about switching to L2 or H4, Jim?
Well, I would have to do research on it because it's sort of a gray area. Obviously, ordinarily, if she weren't changing status, you would apply for an L2. But since she already has an approved change of status, I don't know if you can file an L2 change of status now. I'd have to research it to figure out if you do the L2 or the H4 change of status. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
So, like,
Yep.
if you're wanting to hire us to help you with that, I would look it up. Otherwise, I would say you do need an attorney to help you with this, and you should have them do that research and make sure. I mean, in theory, you could apply both too.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I will approach your office, and I will go ahead to hire you, Jim, for this.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you so much, Jim.
The good thing is, brother, the good thing is you don't have to leave. You got lots of good options. That's the good news.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Hey, buddy. Yep. Thanks. All right. That was Ben. All right. Everyone is asking in TikTok about the green card. So I will give the rule again. If you get your green card in any way, through asylum, through employment, through relationship, through marriage to a U.S. citizen, if you have your green card for 3 years and you are married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years, once both of those things are true and you've been living full-time with that U.S. citizen spouse, you can apply for citizenship under the 3-year rule. You don't have to wait the full 5. Does that make sense, everybody? All right. Ronnie is here. Hello, Ronnie.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I just have a quick question. I applied for I-485 in February of 2023.
Based on?
I also applied for I-130 and the work authorization form.
Okay.
It was a marriage based, and we had our interview on December of 2023. Right after the interview, our I-130 got approved, but nothing has happened since. So I was wondering, what should I do next?
So one of my most popular videos right now is I-130 approved, I-45 still pending. Your 45 has been pending a really long time. Why do you think that USCIS has not approved the I-485, if you had to guess?
I think our evidence was kind of weak. That was my first thought. But then we had because at the time
they approved the I-130 though, so they believe the marriage, or at least I'll say this: Joe Biden's USCIS believed the marriage, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your interview. Tell me everything that happened at your interview.
Yeah, so it was in December of 2023. So it was not like together. So first I was called in. I was there for like 1 hour. And the interview really drilled in. And after they were done with me, they called in my wife.
What did they ask you about?
They asked us about our joint sponsor, about our bank statements, about the lack of the evidence, I would say.
Why didn't you have a lot of marriage evidence?
So they were asking for 2 things. They were asking for insurance, and because my wife doesn't have a driver's license, so they were asking about why she's not on your car insurance or like the auto insurance.
Like she doesn't have any car driver's license.
She doesn't have a driver's license. She lost it in like 2018 or 2019.
Okay, so she doesn't drive.
No, she does not. And
Okay.
then once they were done with me,
Okay, go ahead. You go ahead. Keep going.
so once they were done with me, they told me to go outside. Then they called in my wife. They were with her like probably for like 10 or 15 minutes, way less time than I was.
Sure.
And they just sent her out. And the next day, our I-130 was approved.
So when a 45 is not approved, that means that the officer wonders if there's a reason that the beneficiary, i.e. you, is inadmissible to the United States. So what was your status before you got married to a U.S. citizen?
So I was on F1 until 2020. And
Yep.
then at 2021, I got my OPT. And
Yep.
and we got married in 2022. And so I was never out of like status in anywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's about it.
So never out of status?
No.
Never any criminal history?
No, but I did get a speeding ticket last year, but that's
not it. What country are you from?
India.
So you're here on an H-1B, you marry a U.S. citizen. I might have asked you this already. Were either of you married before?
No. Not
You get
either one
married.
of us was married now.
How long did you know each other before you were married?
8 months.
Why'd you get married so fast?
I don't think it was fast because we met in October and we got married in September. So I don't think it was like super fast. We just thought it was the right time, and we just did it.
Okay. Did they try to scare your spouse at the interview when you weren't in there at all? Do you know?
No.
Okay. Which field office was this?
Cleveland.
And the interview was in 2023?
Correct.
I think they forgot about you, brah. Have you tried like reaching out to them?
Yeah, so I did reach out to a senator last year, not senator, but representative, and they reached us back and they gave us the exact answer that USCIS gave them. It says that they are processing it and they cannot do anything at this time.
Yeah, so you need to sue them. You need to sue them.
Yeah. So we I looked up the processing time and they say right now I'm in the correct. I'm still under time. Like
That's BS. That's all BS. Don't listen to any of that. Listen, bro, we got people getting their citizenship or their green cards 2 or 3 months after they file. They're sitting on your case. There's something about. Do you have any enemies? Anybody that would write a letter to USCIS saying you're a bad guy?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I know it sounds scary to sue them, but if we sue them in federal court in Cleveland, they're going to either schedule you for another interview or just approve the case in about 60 days.
Okay. I was hoping like not to do anything because I just got my new work permit for 5 years, and I was like, why spend all this money when I can work and go out of the country? So
you shouldn't.
I'll have to think.
I would not leave the country with a 2-year green card pending case. A green card case that's been pending for 2 years. There's something in your file they don't like, and I don't want them to accelerate that and make that an issue when you try to come back.
Okay.
All right, Ronnie, thanks for the call, bud.
All right, thank you so much.
See ya. All right. Here's a good question from Samantha. My interview for citizenship is coming up, but I don't have the 10-year green card yet. Does my husband come? Yes, because they're going to decide the 751 as well. So you definitely want to do both. Does USCIS visit your home even after your green card being approved the same day of the interview? Well, I would say that USCIS might come visit you anytime up until you get the green card in your hand. All right. Am I Ronnie next or Valdo? Was that Ronnie? Who was that I was just talking to? Was that Ronnie? No. So I take Ronnie next? Sky says. Did I already do Ronnie, Sky?
You already did, Ronnie. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Look at those glasses. Aren't they the best? Valdo is here. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. Hi, Jim.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, my name's Val. A little background. Me and my wife are married for 11 years, going to 12. We lived in Canada for roughly 11 years as well. So, she got a job offer in the state of Missouri last December. So, she, the kids, and me drove down, and then I stayed there for about 3 months. And within that 3 months or 4 months, we filed the Form I-130. I came back to Canada on April, and I'm gonna have another vacation here soon, in the next 2 weeks, and I'll be flying back there. My question would just be, is there any possibility that I can apply for a adjustment of status while we're there, or anything like that? Because it's costing a lot of money just to fly back and forth, kind of thing.
So, if a foreign national comes to the United States with the intention of applying for adjustment of status
Mm-hmm.
on a non-immigrant basis, that can cause them problems, right? And
Oh,
I made a video yesterday that I think this is going to be something that they start cracking down on, right?
mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
so I'm not saying that it's impossible and people are still doing it,
Yeah.
but I would say that I would plan on coming for a visit. I would have my return trip, and I would
Yeah.
spend no time thinking about adjusting or selling stuff in Canada or closing anything down. I would do nothing until I'm
Mm-hmm.
actually here for a while, and then I would talk to my spouse about it and see what makes sense. I would
Mm-hmm.
not do it. I would not do anything beforehand, though.
Okay. I mean, we got no assets, so we were just renting. We only have a car to our name, but it's just the cost of flying over. Because she flew in back here as well in Canada on May and went back just after a couple of days. Um,
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
it is. So basically that's it. We got 3 kids. We got them their CRBA last year. So
Good.
so
All right. Well, thanks for the
everything.
call. Good luck. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks. See ya. All right. We're going to go to M. Marishi, then Janet. Hello. Marishi, are you there? Hello. You're on mute, as Huli likes to say. All right. I think Marishi went to sleep. Janet, hello.
Hi, Mr. Jim.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you.
Mr. Jim, I'm bothering you again, but this time, not for me. I have a friend who asked me a question, and I told him what I thought it was, but I told him that I was gonna try to get with you and ask you the same question. He said he was brought here with a visa when he was a little kid because I guess his parents were trying to adopt him. He's from Ecuador. But I guess he said the adoption never went through because I think the dad didn't wanna, or they just never got to the point where they adopted him. So he turned 18, and then he was able to get DACA, and he's been on DACA ever since. But now he was saying that he wanted to apply for advanced parole because he wanted to get the legal entry. But I told him, I was like, but you already have a legal entry. You came here with a visa and you never left, right? He's like, yeah, but I'm worried that I'm gonna have a permanent bar. And from what I know, you don't get a permanent bar if you only came here and stayed here only once. You get it if you leave and come back, and right?
Janet's out here dishing out the truth, and her buddy doesn't believe her. Janet is right. If her buddy has proof of his valid entry and was inspected as a little kid, then advanced parole would be a really dumb idea.
Okay, so just recommend don't do advanced parole, right? Because there's like he like I said, he wanted to do it because he's like, I don't want to, but I'm like, no, I think that if you leave and then try to come back, that might trigger it, or they might not let you in. And
Well,
right?
if he had advanced parole, it'd be okay. But the question is, does he have proof that he entered? Like, does he
Yeah,
have stuff?
he has his passport when he was a kid, and it's stamped, and he has his I-94, which is a really old one, because I even told him, hey, go to the website and try to get your I-94, but it didn't
Yeah,
come up. It didn't
sure.
come up. I was like, well, if
Okay,
since it's old, because I think he said it was from 2001.
sure. Okay, so number one, okay, as soon as we get off this call, you need to call this brother and tell him, hey, the most valuable thing you own is that I-94 and your passport. You need to get color scans of all of it right now.
I
And he
told
needs
him
to,
that yesterday.
okay, no, perfect. Okay. And
Okay.
then, but here's the question. Why is he thinking about getting advanced parole? Does he have something else lined up? Like usually you would only do advanced parole if when you come back in, you're going to be able to apply for adjustment or something. Does he have,
That's what I asked, and he's like, he was thinking about getting married, but and I told him, well, I think you're eligible to do adjustment of status even now. Like, if you were to get married, since you have your legal entry, you don't need to wait.
Janet is dishing it out left and right. Janet knows, and Janet is correct.
Okay. Okay, so basically that was one question that I wanted to ask you. And then another question is regarding my uncle, and he has a daughter who's in the military. So I was telling him that he needs to do parole in place, and I guess he tried to go with a lawyer, and the lawyer was um I don't know. I didn't like the advice that the lawyer was giving him. So I told him that I was gonna get in contact with you because he has, like I said, he has a daughter who is in the army, who could do a PIP for him. And then in April of next year, she'll turn 21. So I believe, and I told him that we should get on this with you ASAP.
Yeah, for sure. Have him reach out.
Okay. And then just one more question, and this is mine. Once my daughter turns 20, was I petitioned with my daughter, right? How long would the green card be for? 10 years, 5 years, 3 years?
10.
10, okay. And at 3, I could do citizenship, correct?
5.
5, okay. I would have to wait the 5 then. Okay. Those were my questions, Mr. Jim. Thank you so
All right,
much.
Janet. Everyone says we should hire you to be a paralegal. So if you're looking
Do
for
you
a
want to
job,
hire me? I would love to work for you. I'm throwing everybody your way, I swear. Every time anybody asks me, I shoot them a, you need to go to him. You need to watch his videos. You need to do everything. So I'm sharing you all everywhere I can.
thank you, Janet. Appreciate it. Have a great
All
day.
right. You
See
too.
ya.
Bye.
How about that? Like a boss. She can give old Benson a run for his money. All right. Mimi is here. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for having me today. So, I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I entered the country. So, I came in
Perfect.
2019, and I came with my husband from Africa, and he came with his own plan because he actually had somebody already in the country that he wanted to get married to. So, when we came in, he left me here, and
Wait, wait,
then
wait, wait,
when
wait, 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 wait.
I'm sorry.
So you are married to someone back home in Africa,
Yes, we came
and
together.
you guys get visit visas to the United States.
Yes, yes.
And you're saying that he had a plan to come to the
Mm-hmm.
United States, divorce you, and marry a U.S. citizen.
Exactly.
But you
Yes.
didn't know about that plan. You just thought you guys
No.
were coming for a visit.
No. Yes, because we
Mm.
were staying with my sister as of that time. So
And
one night,
I hear kids in the background. Did kids come too, or just the two of you?
no, I just gave birth right after. This is just last year. I gave birth last year. So yeah. So
Okay.
one night after my birthday dinner, he escaped. Let me put it this way: he didn't come home. He told me he was going out. Yeah, he never returned after my birthday.
He made a run for it.
Yeah, he never returned. I kept
Jesus.
calling. My sister kept calling. No, but
I'm sorry.
he actually blocked that. So yes. And
Yeah.
so after that, like I was put in removal proceedings. That would be 2019 November thereabout. I was put in removal proceedings. So I'm still in removal proceedings, but I got married in 2020 to a US citizen. He was in the Navy. So we got married. I was still in removal proceedings as in that time. We went for our first interview. It didn't go well because he was deployed at that time. So he didn't really get most of the house questions, like questions about the house right, apparently. So we were put in administratively
No,
closed.
time out.
Okay.
So you're sitting in removal, you marry a US citizen, he's in the military, you file the I-130 by itself and not the 45, right?
Okay, actually, I'll say we did both because we got somebody, he wasn't an attorney, but she told us that we should do both together because they will pardon me and then just go ahead and give me the green card without the removal. I didn't know. It was a whole lot of stuff. I didn't know about that. But apparently, we went for the interview even when I was in the removal proceedings for the I-130 and I-485 interview.
Okay. So at the I-130 interview, you're saying that your spouse had been deployed but did come back for the interview.
Yes.
So you didn't go. Okay.
Yes,
And then
together.
because he'd been deployed, he didn't know much about the layout of the house.
Exactly. Because I was seeing my sister again. Yes. So
did they do a Stokes interview? They separated you?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they did. Yes,
And
they
then
did.
how long were you in with the officer and how long was your spouse?
I'll say 30 minutes for each of us.
And when you filed that I-130, oh, you said you did it without an attorney. You did it with like a fake lawyer.
Exactly. Yes.
So okay, did the I-130 ever get approved?
No, it did not, but we did file again, which was approved just recently in April.
Wait, say that again.
So when I filed the first one, it was actually dismissed. They denied the case and everything. So I refiled the I-130 without the I-485. So it was approved. Yes. So it took at least 2 years for me to get an interview and for that to be approved. So I got my interview in April.
Tell me what happened at the second interview. Like at the second interview, did they bring up the first?
No, but the good thing is I had my daughter with me, so it went smooth because she kept calling his daddy and all that. So I think the officer was really nice. He actually took my daughter with him on the lap, and then they were having a whole conversation. Actually, he didn't really ask us a lot of questions because most of his attention was on my daughter, so he didn't really ask a lot of questions.
And your spouse came to that one too, right?
Yeah. So right now he's home. He's inactive at the moment, so he's not deployed. I'll put it this way.
So
He's reserved.
we have an approved I-130, and what's up with removal?
Okay, so now I did file a motion to get my recalendar because I think I have my removal proceeding case on 2027, which is I think 2 years from now. So I got a new lawyer and we did the motion to recalendar, but the judge.
You mean you got a real lawyer because the other one wasn't
a real lawyer now. Yes, a real lawyer after the fake one. He actually told me that I was lucky that I didn't get grabbed when I went for the interview because it was never done. Yes, I shouldn't have filed the I-485 at that time. So he did more. Yeah, he explained a little bit. But my issue now is we had filed for motion to recalendar my court hearing somewhere later this year or something, but the judge got back and said he has no date because he's actually booked. And my lawyer was saying I will have to wait for 2027. And I wanted to know if there's anything that I could do, if I have to appeal for the motion or just leave it like I do have my 5 years working permit though. But I was thinking if there's anything that I could do because my I-130 is approved and I have no criminal history, I've nothing else like that. So I was thinking if there's anything that I could do about that.
I would just request it every 6 months.
Okay, so every 6 months though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And also, is there anything that they do for the military people? Like, let's say right now he's inactive. So is there anything that they do for the veterans for like any speed up or anything?
I mean, no, you could just throw that all in the motion, but I'm sure your attorney already did when they asked it last time.
Not for this one, because this one was just for me. I think when he put in, he told me, he said, I don't have any criminal history. We have a child together, and also, I've been working since I think I got my first working permit in 2022. So I've been working for like in the hospital for some time now. So I also got a letter from my previous employer stating that I've been working and all that, but it didn't go, like, he never accepted whatever the issue was.
I would just say, I mean, it sounds like the judge's calendar is full. That sounds legit, but also I know that sometimes judges have things that get canceled or rescheduled, and if you guys could be ready, I would have played up the military angle more if I could.
Yeah, that's when I wanted to come in and ask you if you think going that angle is going to help, because
just wait 6 months. Yeah, wait 6
Okay.
months and then you throw in the military part.
Got you. Okay. All right. So with that, and also, do you think I have to go, because that will be a master calendar hearing? Do you think I have to go in person or request for a virtual just in case in the future?
Well, that's 2 years from now, sister. We'll see what's going on then.
Okay. All right. Okay. Sure.
All
So
right.
that was
Thanks,
all right.
Mindy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good
so
luck.
much. All right.
Doing all the right things. She's on the right track. Robert says, Jim, if you had to do something other than immigration, what would you do? I could see you as a mini Lionel Hutz. Lionel Hutz is from The Simpsons. And he said that character was just too funny. Yes, we laugh a lot about Lionel Hutz. At our house, in fact, Ismail drew me a picture of Lionel Hutz. So I have that framed in my office. I could see me doing personal injury. I did personal injury before, but I just like immigration too much. And I think it's hard to specialize in more than one thing. The other thing I've often thought about, if I did it based on need, there's this area of the law, Robert, called elder law, which is like helping old people shield their assets from Medicare, Medicaid. And I think I would probably do that. All right. Let's see if Marishi came back. Hello. Marishi ditched us. All right. And Mimi we just talked to. So now we're going to talk to Lolo. Hello, Lolo.
How you doing, Jim? Salam, salam.
Walaikum salam. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So I have a question. So the question goes like this. So my wife came to the country, Canada, and she's been here since April. But right prior to that, she did file for consular processing, which was approved all the way to FVC, waiting on dates. So I contacted a lawyer to know if I could do adjustment of status. And the lawyer brought something up. She said, well, with the situation going on right now, the adjustment of status, that's enough, young lady. Come on, keep it low. That she really won't suggest that. And I said, why? She said that because she came from Canada and she had one of the visa waiver programs, that they kind of scrutinize people that change to adjustment of status based on that. I was like, okay. So what do you think? What do you think as a immigration attorney?
Where's your spouse right now?
She's with me right now in the States.
When did she enter? How long ago?
She entered on 21st of April.
And I hear little kids in the background.
Yeah, that's my little princess right here. She's eating at the same time.
When your wife entered this last time, were you already married?
Yes, we've been married for almost 2 years now.
And did she talk to CBP when she came through?
Yeah, they just literally just like, oh, they didn't even talk to her. They was like, oh, why are they coming here? So they're coming with me to come visit. So we came to the border and she was like, okay. And she just gave her the passport. I was like, welcome to America. And that was it.
I would say that certainly even today, we are getting cases like you just described approved often. So I mean, as long as she goes into it with her eyes wide open and knows that it might not work, I would say I would file that case for sure.
Okay. And is this something I can file the documentation myself? Because I did the I-130 all myself.
You can, but I wouldn't, because right now her case is pointed to the National Visa Center, and then to the embassy in Canada. So I would hire us or some other lawyer to help you do the adjustment of status, the work card, the affidavit of support, all the other stuff that you haven't done yet.
Okay, and so with that being said, once they file that, it won't affect the embassy case in Canada.
Well, technically it does affect it because you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to, that I-130 that you have on file, that's still pending, right? That hasn't been approved.
No, the I-130 was approved. It's just the NVC part, not the NVC, the consulate interview part that we're at right now.
What you would do is you would take the I-130, you would file the 45, attach the I-130 approval notice, say, hey, yo, I know that we told you we were going to do this shit in Canada, but she's been here now. Well, we got this little kid and we're tired of being separated. We decided to apply for adjustment and we're going to do a 45 with this approved I-130. And then once you get your receipt notice back, then you notify NVC that she's here and she's gonna adjust status and not consular process. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. All right, sounds good. All right, I'll reach out to your office through the email, the ones you always have at the bottom, and I'll go
Awesome.
from there.
Thank you, Lolo. See you, buddy.
All right, you too. Thanks.
He's got his princess. Got his princess. All right. At our office, we call Skyla our princess. How about that? Don't we? I think we do. We call Skyla queen or princess, either one. Mr. P is here. Hello. Mr. P.
Hey, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, Jim. Just a quick question. I was on the show a while back, and I spoke to you about a FOIA request with ICE that I had put in, and you asked me to send a mail to the office.
Yeah.
I did send an email, and they asked me to get back on the show and ask the same question again, like about my FOIA request that I put in with ICE.
You FOIA'd, you sent, did you send us the FOIA itself?
Yeah, I emailed the response I got from ICE.
Was it a complete response, or did they?
After I put in the request, they sent me an email saying that it must be made in writing and must contain my signature and be notarized and all of that. So I don't know how to really go about it.
They rejected what you filed.
Yeah. So they want ask me to probably refile it, I guess, maybe.
And what do you think is in your ICE file?
I'm just curious to see. I don't know. I mean, I haven't had any interactions with ICE.
Then why are you doing an ICE FOIA if you've never had any interactions with ICE?
Because I'll be filing for citizenship soon, in a month and a half from now. Just wanted to be sure that everything's good.
Did you do a FOIA for USCIS?
I'll be doing a FOIA for USCIS as well. Yeah, I'll be doing it soon, like in maybe a day or two.
Start with that, and then if you've never been in removal, and have you always been in status?
Yes.
Then there's no reason to go do an ICE FOIA. There's none. Certainly would never do an ICE FOIA before you do a USCIS FOIA unless you're doing both. But just the USCIS FOIA is going to tell you everything you need if all you're talking about is visa, green card, citizenship, and you've never been in removal. I think that's just a waste of time.
Oh, okay. So once I file the FOIA request with USCIS and get a reply back, can I send it to your office to take a look?
Well, if you want to hire us to do your citizenship, yes, but I don't just review people's FOIAs for no reason.
Oh, okay. So what if I do decide to go ahead with your office, what would be the cost for citizenship?
Well, we would do, $4,000, and we would do the FOIA for free. If you want to do a FOIA beforehand, we would just do that for free. That's not a big deal.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, Mr. P.
Thanks.
I understand the trepidation, but if you've had no interaction with ICE and you've never been out of status, I don't think you need to do an ICE FOIA. Hi, sir. What about travel internationally with conditional green card with no criminal history? I wouldn't do it. I would wait till I get my citizenship, and I certainly wouldn't travel without my spouse. Flawless. Hello.
Hi, Jim.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
First, let me say thank you so much for everything that you've been doing.
My pleasure.
Yes, thank you. Secondly, I am a client, so I'm not gonna get too involved in my case, but I
Good.
do have a few questions.
Okay.
So I did got a speeding ticket a while back, like a couple months ago.
Yep.
I did went to court, but then I realized my name was spelled incorrect on the ticket.
Yeah.
So my lawyer did tell the judge, and then the judge, I guess they didn't change it at all. So when I paid the fine, it was still incorrect. So do you think that's gonna be a problem?
No, I don't.
Okay, great. I have another question. Two more
Sure.
questions.
All
So
good.
I am eligible to apply for citizenship in December.
Mhm.
When is it too soon to contact your office? Because I don't want to wait too long, and then you can take my case, and then I don't want to wait.
So, that's okay. So the current thing we're handling now is a 751.
Yes.
Yeah. And you said the 3 years is up in December?
No, I think it would be in February, but I think one said I could apply 3 months in advance, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
So the
yeah, I
3
would say like October, just let your current team know that you want to get started on citizenship, and we should reach out too, but just I would say probably October. It's a little too early.
October. Okay. Okay, so I think that was all my questions. So
Awesome.
and thank you so much for everything, and thank you for the discount the last time around too. So
Awesome. Have a great
yes,
day.
thank you.
See
You
ya.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, all right. We always like it when current clients want to hire us for more shit. That's always good. That's good for everybody, right, Huli? All right, especially citizenship, because you know we're on a special mission to help 10,000 people become citizens by the end of 2030. Lucy, hello. Hello, Lucy.
Can you hear me?
Isn't the name Lucy a great name? I've never met a Lucy I didn't like. Like Lucy's are just chill and happy. And anyway, go ahead, Lucy.
Thank you so much. So I'm a naturalized citizen. I'm applying for adjustment of status for my father, who's been in the USA for over 20 years. I just had a few quick questions. When he first arrived, he got married after my mother, and it didn't work out. So they later divorced, but they did end up getting an interview that they did not attend. So I was wondering if, with my application, would that mean that he would get an interview to kind of follow up on the missed interview from previously?
Not like that so much. So I would say that if he had a prior application that sort of died on the vine, I would do a Freedom of Information Act request before you file for him. You could do it now, and just get a complete copy of what was filed before, or as much of that copy as he can. So, I mean, when people tell me Dad had or I had a green card case and I didn't show up for my interviews and they got divorced, then sometimes I wonder if it was a real marriage or not, especially when you said it was after he was married to your mom. Did he get back together with your mom or no?
Not legally, because they got married in a different country. So on file in America, it wouldn't show that they ever got married.
Have you had a discussion with your father as to whether there's anything either of you should be worried about that marriage application that he filed and didn't show up at the interview for?
So I did actually already submit a FOIA. The only note that I saw on there was that it just said look into marriage, and there was no other major flags. It wasn't flagged for fraud or anything, but that was the only thing that I had seen on there that was concerning.
So Dad, first off, did Dad have a valid entry into the United States?
Yes, he did, and he brought us all with him as well.
Okay. And then you were born in the United States?
No, he had one child born here. So she's a citizen, but I became a naturalized citizen before she turned 21.
Got it. So you're the one applying.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is what I would say. You should let me or my wife grill the shit out of your dad on whether that marriage was real or fake, because that's going to impact everything, including whether we even file.
Okay.
Because,
so
it sounds like you're being a little bit careful with how you answer, which is totally fine. But if he's with your mom and they were divorced for a while, like that's sounding to me like sometimes people did dumb things to try to get a green card. So I would want to review things with him in anticipation of a tough interview. So it's not that interview he never showed up for is going to suddenly pop up. It's that they're going to go back, get the file, maybe even talk to that ex-wife and see if that was real or not. Because if he engaged in immigration fraud 20 years ago, even though he has a U.S. citizen 21-year-old child, that could keep him from getting his green card now.
Okay, so it wouldn't, if that were to happen, would it matter if my mother and him are not together even after the fact?
Well, I wouldn't play games with whether they're legally or the U.S. knows about it. That's not how I do things. To me, what he did with your mom and stuff is secondary to if I believe that he filed a real marriage case. That's very different than if he filed a bullshit marriage case. Does that make sense?
Right. So they were married overseas before they came, and then when he came to the United States, he has a divorce decree from that country, and then I think it was a year later he married the woman, and then it didn't work out. So
well, why didn't they show up at the interview?
I have no idea. I don't know about.
Yeah, that's why you need to let me or my wife loose on your husband, on your dad, so that we can get to the bottom of things. And that, you can be on that call. You don't have to be on that call, whatever it is. But it sounds like Dad's hiding some shit and may have done something a little sneaky.
Okay, okay, I understand.
And then that impacts his ability to get any immigration benefit through you or your U.S. citizen sister.
Okay, so let's say I had that conversation with him and it turned out to be all right, and I proceeded with the application. Could I ask? Okay, go ahead.
I don't want you to have that conversation with him. I want to have that conversation with him because it'll be a very different conversation. Because I'll push him for the truth.
Okay.
Do you understand why I'm saying these things?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. You were going to ask me something else?
I was just going to ask questions about the application itself. Just little questions.
The other big issue that I have with when someone's been here for a really long time that I always want to be careful of, did he ever make a false claim to U.S. citizenship?
No.
You sure?
Yes, I have most of his records, and he doesn't.
Like
he has.
I've asked him. Bank loan, anything?
Yes. No.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Lucy. Let me know if you need our help. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye. All right, everybody. Another good show. Enjoyed spending my time with all of you. I am going to clock out now, and I'll be back on Monday or Tuesday. Thank you, Hooli. Thank you, Sky. We're always happy when you guys are here to help us with everybody in the waiting room. It makes things go much more smoothly. I shot a bunch of videos last night, so we'll have videos dropping every other day for the next 3 weeks or so, and we will do a show either on Monday or Tuesday. If you want to find out when we're going to go live next time, do what Hooli just put up on the screen, which is to text the word show to 314-470-3300. And hey, listen, we have 700 people watching this show right now. If 10% of you or 1% of you did us a favor and went to reviewhackinglaw.com, left us a 5-star review, that would be a really big help to us because some people have been leaving us some mean reviews lately. So if 1 out of 100 of you did that, that'd be 7 new Google reviews for us, and that would be a big, big help for us on the firm. Thanks, everybody. See you, Robert. See you, Dammy. See you, everybody. I hope you guys all have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.